Good evening. This is the Tampa Bay Wind Report update. It's about 9:10 p.m. on Saturday night. I wanted to talk about what's going on and what to expect for tomorrow. So looking at our surface map screen right in front of us, let's go ahead and get right to it. Here we got a warm front activity just to the south of Tampa Bay as expected. It did lift a little bit this afternoon, bringing some rains and showers into the area for some messy conditions. Here's the cold front as expected, coming a little bit slower than expected. So the low pressure that's sitting over the Great Lakes now, we have high pressure as expected working down from the northwest. Here's the central high. It's going to be heading to the east and then swooping up to the north. So the timing of the cold front passage is going to be highly dependent on how strong the high pressure builds in behind the cold front and how fast this cold front actually moves to the east. So we're looking at possibly early to mid-afternoon, according to the models, on this passage of the front, the northerlies start to increase behind it. However, that could start a little bit earlier. You probably see a few pulses of that tonight and even into tomorrow morning as the frontal boundary sort of pushes some rain through the area, but then the high pressure is going to be working quickly down behind that. And the northerly winds, we may see a north-northwesterly wind post-frontal up front, and then we see them switch to northerlies throughout the day. So we may not get that northeasterly lean to it. Here is the GRE for radar. Here's all of our warm front activity to the south. It looks like it's trying to lift a little bit to the north tonight. It may just do that over the Tampa Bay area to bring a few more rains and showers. That front's going to lift into the cold front eventually and add a little bit of energy over the southeast region. But you see it sort of fizzling out over here to the west, and that means the high pressure is really building down into it over Louisiana right now. Take a look at infrared. Here's our cloud cover. Not much juice coming up from the Gulf of Mexico as high pressure, like I said, is drawing their air out down to the southern tail of the front. And if we look at our water vapor loop, you can clearly define where that drier, cooler northerly wind is coming into the picture. So let's look at data scope from weather flow. One thing for tomorrow to expect is the winds may come up rather quickly as that cooler air jets down in behind the frontal boundary. So we're looking for probably somewhere between 14 to 18 knots for tomorrow. Could see some higher pulses here and there where that north wind really starts to, the initial pulses show higher marks, but then they kind of settle down. So I'm going to call for 14 to 18 knots for tomorrow. And the timing of it's going to depend on that frontal progression. So not exact on that yet, but what we can do is if you can catch a radar image on water vapor loop, you might be able to see where the winds are coming in earlier. And as always, pay attention to our sensors and iKitesurf and Wind Alert to see when those trends start up. They'll start up at St. Pete's Beach and work their way down, maybe even start at Tarpon Springs and follow the flow as it comes down to the south. So here's Tampa Bay Cut J. I want to take a look at these models that we have available for here, quite a few of them. There's going to be a lot of disagreement, which I'm seeing right now, as far as winds go, because with all this frontal activity coming up ahead of the cold front to the west heading towards the area. So lots of disagreement until tomorrow morning when everything straightens out from the north. So that's about 10 o'clock. I'm sorry, let me scoot this over here again. That's around, I'd say about 9:30 to 10 o'clock in the morning when most of these miles start to agree with that northerly flow. The gradient looks to be moderate, and that's going to carry on through Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday as we see this high pressure sort of droop down through here and then sort of head up over North Carolina and park right off of this area here, and that's going to keep a northeasterly gradient going probably into Tuesday. So looking for moderate flows every day from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, maybe even into Wednesday and Thursday. But there's where the northerly winds are going right there, and then go back to Datascope. The models are kicking it up tomorrow afternoon. One model in particular, I think that's going to be the WRAMS, our weather flow RAMS model, which is 8 kilometer. It's a somewhat medium to high resolution, and that jumps up to the upper 20s. So we can't dispel every model yet, and that could happen. We can see those initial bursts come up and then settle down, and it could be earlier than this. So just watch your sensors for trends. I think the stronger winds are going to come later, about mid to late afternoon, and then they're going to work down a little bit during cooling, and then they'll come back up again tomorrow. So that's your wind report for the next couple of days at least. And I wish all the CKA event competitors and the demo riders and anyone else that has any events going on this weekend the best of luck. So wish I had better news on the winds coming up earlier, but you know, we're kind of stuck with what we have as far as that frontal activity goes. And best of luck to everyone. Y'all have a good night. Thank you.